This week in a conversation, I have the honor to receive author Cristina Istrati. She's joining me from Bucharest, Romania. And we're going to be talking about her fantastic trilogy titled Noble Temptation. So in other words, we're going to be talking about her book one of the trilogy. Interesting historical romance, okay? And the setting, I'm not going to say it. But before we get into the video, I just want to remind you one more time, please, the best way to support the conversation and CSMS magazine is to subscribe to this channel, but also to encourage all friends and readers to do the same thing. So, and if you do subscribe, don't forget to click the notification bell right next on the right corner of your screen. And when you do, every time a video is published, it's going to be directly on your portable. So let's get started. Again, my name is Ardain Isma, and I'm here this morning or this evening, if you're in Bucharest, Romania, with impeccable author, Cristina Istrati. We're going to be talking about her work, but we will begin with her interesting novel, which is an epic novel. We're going to be talking about book one. And the novel is titled Noble Temptation. To begin with, Cristina, welcome to the conversation.
Welcome. Oh, sorry, welcome. Sorry, I have to admit, I am a little bit nervous. I just want to take this off my chest.
You don't need to.
Well, it's not that I am doing these interviews all day, every day. I have my emotions, and I get pretty, emotional especially when it comes to giving interviews and being in front of the camera. But to my own luck, thank you God, I started doing Facebook lives in my writing community of aspiring writers. I also started uploading videos about writing and how to write a novel on my YouTube channel. Right. And somehow the magic is at work, and I've learned to just be more comfortable in front of the camera, because before I was, oh my God, no.
Now, would you please tell us who is Cristina Istrati?
Just a village girl, just like my character in my novel. I was born in a just to give a little bit of my backstory, okay, and a bit of my background. I was born in a village here in Romania. I went to school afterwards. I came to Bucharest to do my studies and then university and all that. And then in 2007, I was in my village then. I had this dream while, during the night. It was an August summer night, and I dreamt myself writing books. Okay. At that time, I wasn't able to give this a proper definition or explain it in some way. Right. But all I know is that it was that kind of a dream that moves, usually those strong dreams that move something inside of you, and you just cannot put it aside. No matter what you do, there's something that's bugging you to act.
Exactly.
So I did this. The next day I woke up, I grabbed some sheets, I grabbed a pen, I started writing, and I didn't know where I was going with the story. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know. It was just me and the story. I loved writing that story. The first novel I'm talking about, Seductive Ambiguity.
And we're talking about the Seductive Ambiguity.
Yes, that's my first novel, and the result of my 6 months writing activity. So it all came after that dream. I started writing. I had no idea what I was doing. All that mattered to me was the enjoyment, of writing the story, the excitement of finding out where it will take me next, what will happen with the characters. So all I had was the story. I had nothing else. So after 6 months, I had in my hands, because I still handwrite, I'm pretty old-fashioned in this regard. I handwrite my novels, and then I typed the material on my laptop. So this first novel was the same. I handwritten the manuscript,
Right.
and I had it in my hands after 6 months. And then I contacted many publishing houses. Yes, here in Bucharest. Got lots of no's. Of course, it's part of the process.
Correct.
But then I had a publishing house who said yes. That said yes. And I published a novel in 2009 in March. What the rest, as they say, it's history. In 2008, I started working on my second novel, which is Noble Temptation, the one that we touched
We're talking about now. Okay.
Yes, a bit earlier, and it has 3 volumes because it's quite big. I published the first volume in 2019, and now my plan is to publish the last 2 volumes in June, so that I can put it aside and have the trilogy completed, and then fully focus on the novel that I'm working on right now, which is a historical romance novel placed back in 1910 in my own village. So
it seems like that you do have a fascination for historical romance.
Yes. And you're not the only one who tells me this. I don't know why. I really cannot find an explanation. But so I started with contemporary romance, seductive ambiguity, but then somehow I fell into this historical romance love, writing Noble Temptation, which is placed in 19th century in Austria. Now it's again historical romance, placed back in 1910 in my village.
In your village.
I'm drawn to historical, and I love history, I have to say. Even in school, I was crazy about history, and still am.
So, Cristina, let's dive into Noble Temptation.
Okay, let's go.
So, we understand it's a story about a village girl whose name Elisabeth Waidhofen.
Yes.
Okay, and who travels to Vienna. Wow.
Yes.
And a stroke of luck,
yes,
she meets a noble man. We're talking about Count Andreas, right?
Yes.
Could you please tell us how the story develops from here?
Okay, so firstly, I have to say that in order to be able to stay in Vienna, Elisabeth has to support herself, right? Because it's a big city, you just have to support yourself. Right. So she starts working in a tavern. Obviously not the place for a 19-year-old young woman, but she is so committed to her goals and so committed to make something out of herself, and not how to say this, not to fall into the mediocre lifestyle that people in her village have, and which is why she even went to Vienna, because she wanted more for herself. So anyway, to make a long story short, she works in this tavern to support herself. When she met Andreas, she didn't tell this to him. Okay. I mean, obviously, how could she? But then they go to a ball where all the
let me ask you something, Cristina, right here. So I mean, she's a village girl.
Yes.
And she meets this man. And especially in 19th century societies, in particular high societies like in Vienna,
Yes.
To be able to find yourself in a position to not only meet this noble man, but also being invited to go to a ball with him. So how does that transition from where she was at working in the tavern and then meeting this man, and now we're going to a very high society, sophisticated ball?
Okay, good point. There's this annual. So Andreas is leading tea manufacturer in Vienna. He has a factory and he produces tea. And every year at the Schönbrunn Palace, there is this annual tea ball. It's something I made up, obviously, it doesn't exist. But that's just the beauty of fiction. You just can create whatever you want. So at this ball, everybody can come. There's no a standard entrance and only the rich ones can enter. It's not like that. Ordinary people, anyone who loves tea, just goes to this ball. And at the tavern, Elisabeth makes friends with one of her colleagues. Her name is Matthias. And because he likes her, he invites her to this ball, right? And Andreas is already
now, you don't need to tell the whole plot now.
Okay. Sorry, I get carried away. So
if anyone wants to get the whole story now,
that's true. That's true. So this is how they meet. They meet at that ball.
Okay. Now, let me ask you something here, because your story reminds me of a very important trilogy that when I was a young boy watched. Is played by Romy Schneider, historical trilogy, Sissi trilogy, right?
Yes.
Everyone, when I was a kid, was fascinated about this story. Sissi first, Sissi the young empress, then faithful of an empress, right?
Yes.
So when I read the story, this is how I see it. By the way, unfortunately, Romy Schneider died.
Yes. And young too. I mean, she was only 42 or something like that.
Right.
Very young. Poor thing. I mean, I admire her a lot, really.
Let me ask you something. Did Romy inspire you on when you were writing this novel?
Inspire? You mean if I got the plot idea from Romy? Is this what you're asking?
Not necessarily, not the plot idea from her, but since you watched the and you're writing an historical romance novel, then did her story, the movie itself, have like some impact on your writing when you were writing it? That's what I'm saying.
Yes, but not so much in the sense that I watched the movie with Romy Schneider playing Sissi, and it helped me just see, in more details the high Viennese society, the kind of etiquette that they have that they have there, what kind of food they would eat, and what was acceptable, what wasn't acceptable. It's so in this regard, yes, it helped me, because I mean, we are talking about 19th century. There's no way for me to know just how things were happening back then. But I did research work. I also added. I actually bought some books about the Habsburgic Empire, because this is, Franz Josef was a member of this royal family, and I had to know exactly what, the background, and how well he did as an emperor of Austria, and later on as a king of Hungary. And I'm looking, on towards my my bookshelf, because I have the book like right in front of my eyes right now. This is why, from out of reflex, I'm looking at that. So I did the research. I watched this movie. It helped me, with the dancing as well. I mean, how on earth would I know how people in those days would dance? But with the Sissy movie, it helped me see, even with the women, with the gowns that women had, it helped me to step even deeper into this aristocratic.
Now, how did Elisabeth, what she wore, she wears a special kind of ballerina kind of dress? Or dancing the waltz?
Yes, of course, dancing the waltz, of course. I mean, when you say Austria or Vienna, you just automatically think about the coffee, about waltz, about this proper kind of an elegant kind of people, high society, aristocratic people. Mozart. To just think about those things, it comes instantly.
Now, Noble Temptation. You just said in the introduction that book 2 and 3, you plan on releasing them both at the same time. No?
Yes. I already. I have it all in my computer, the material. I mean, I finished writing this novel back in 2011. So I have it all in my laptop. I published the first volume, as I was telling you, and now all I have to do is to do the work that is required with the publishing and all that, to launch these 2 volumes, meaning volume 2 and volume 3, so that the trilogy is complete. And because it's the norm. I mean, it's something that I want to do, and what wants to put behind me. I think it's time. It's also, it's like an open folder, and constantly reminds me I have to publish this, I have to launch these 2 volumes so that it can be completed. And I want to do this, so I mark it as complete, task done, move on to
But let me ask you something, Cristina. Do you think that from a marketing standpoint, releasing 2 books at the same time, do you think it's wise to do that?
Why not? It's part of the same novel, basically. It's part of the same trilogy. I mean, I've seen people publishing books that didn't have any connection one with another. It's true, it was about poetry, and as we know, poetry is a standalone kind of genre. You don't need to have, like, if you want to publish 2 or 3 volumes of poetry, they don't have to be connected one with another. You just publish. It's just, it's poetry. You can do that. But with novels, things are a bit, different. So either you have a standalone novel, which you can publish and release and launch, or if you have a trilogy, like in my case, since it's part of the same novel, I don't see any reason why not to. I mean, if you ask me, it's even better and it's easier. I'm doing 2 things at the same time. Win-win situation. But
that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Okay.
That makes sense.
Back.
Yes, we're back. So let's finish this thing.
Okay.
So, yeah, we were talking about your your award, quite stunning and impressive.
Thank you.
Now we're going to switch to something cozier. I always do when I have a guest in a conversation.
Okay.
I know Romanian ladies, they very much are keen when it comes to cuisine. So I'm a university professor, and I've had in the past Romanian students.
I remember you told me.
Yeah. But there's something they used to bring in the class every time we have what we call International Food Festival. There was like a cabbage stew.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they mix that with white rice. I don't know if it's typical to the entire Romania or to some particular region of Romania. So, Tina, from your Moldova region of Romania,
yes.
What is the cuisine there?
What is the cuisine? I am proud to say that the Moldovan cuisine is very old.
Very old.
I take pride in this. We still have the dishes that our grandparents and earlier ancestors used to cook and eat. To give you want me to give you some examples?
yeah, of course. Travel to Florida, come on now. I'll be waiting for it.
Well, probably the most popular one is chicken soup.
Chicken soup.
You probably have it in the US as well, but we do it here with specific Moldovan ingredients, and really? I can assure you that you won't find something like this anywhere in the world. It's something purely Romanian. And then we have this kind of dessert with cheese that we do. How to basically it resembles a lot with the donuts that you have back in the US, but we fill it with either with goat or sheep cheese. And it's a dish, it's a dessert that all Romania knows. They are very famous. I mean, they go way back. It's an old.
Can you give us a name of one of the all historical classical Romanian writers?
Yes, definitely. We have so many. We have
you're just one, your preferred one.
Only one? Oh my
your
God!
Your preferred one. Yeah.
This is difficult because classical Romanian writers. Oh my God, they're it's hard to choose. I will do my best and stick to one, and I will choose Liviu Rebreanu.
What's your name?
Liviu Rebreanu. This is his name.
Okay.
If you are curious enough, I can give you the Wikipedia with about him to read more. Right. But when it comes to deep psychological analysis of the human mind and human behavior, and realistic approach to life and the feelings and experiences that the characters have in his novels, he is the go-to writer. Hats off. I cannot say more.
So are you saying is he a 19th century writer?
Born in late 19th century, died in early 20th century. Yes. He died, I remember. He died in 1944 and was born somewhere 1880, at any case, 19th century. Mid 19th century.
Mid 19th century. Okay.
Yeah. So he definitely. Wow.
So let me ask a question here now. Who is your favorite writer of all time? It doesn't have to be a Romanian.
Would it shock you if I say that I don't have a favorite writer?
Yeah.
And I will tell you why, obviously, because I have my I have my arguments. I'm not just throwing words out there. I have my arguments. The reason for this is I don't like to limit myself to only one writer or only one writing style, you know. And from what I've read so far, and I've read in, you know, Romanian writers, I mean Romanian works, international literature and all that, and I cannot name one writer that has it all, you know. Imagination, deep psychological analysis of the characters, fantasy, realistic approach, you know, to what the characters do and all that. I cannot, maybe you know, I don't know. For me, if you ask me, I don't know. I don't know a writer like this, because every writer is different. So what I do is that I read whatever I get my hands on and simply take from what I read, I take whatever resonates with me, you know. For example, I love J.K. Rowling. Okay. I love about her and her writing style. I love about her that she has this amazing creativity, amazing imagination when it comes to creating worlds. And you know, Harry Potter, I mean, everybody knows. But in my view, Harry Potter doesn't have so much in-depth, you know, analysis as a, you know, his mental, his psychology, his inner world, you know, emotions and all that. In her Harry Potter series, the characters don't have that. I didn't find it, at least. So I love about J.K. Rowling her brilliant mind, her ability to create magical worlds like Harry Potter, but she doesn't have this ability to, or it's not in her to go so deep within when it comes to her characters. Do you follow me? Whereas right now I'm reading Tolstoy. I'm reading Anna Karenina. And so in this work, in Tolstoy's writing style, I have what I want in terms of this deep analysis of the characters and why they do what they do, and what the reason behind it, and then their inner world and internal conflicts and all that. I have this. So I have this from a psychological point of view, but I don't have the creativity that J.K. Rowling has, because Tolstoy was not about creative. I mean, he was not about creating fantasy, magical words with the wizard and all that. He was not about that. So you see how one writer has what the other doesn't have.
As a matter of fact, I'm currently reading War and Peace.
Oh wow!
By Tolstoy.
So good.
Right now. So yeah, it's one of my favorite authors, quite frankly. And,
yes, true. You know, if you are into this kind of writing, like Tolstoy writes, then it's easy to say Leo Tolstoy is my favorite.
You have different genres.
Yes, true.
And also there are subgenres also. So, you know.
Yes.
And there are coming of age stories too. So I mean, the different type of things, it depends on your taste. Just like you, I don't read any book, you know. I have to see myself into it. I need to see the deeper meaning of the book.
Exactly.
I read between the line, but also I look for the abstract. You know, something that they say that unsaid words are sometimes the most powerful one. So this is the kind of person I am, you know. I'm just like you. Now, Cristina, since we're getting to the end of our conversation, my last question. So if there is any lesson you would want to give to a writer like you, who would want to embark upon a journey of writing historical fiction or historical romance now,
Okay.
what are the tricks? What are the lessons, the advice that you would give to that person?
You gotta love the genre.
Okay.
This is the first. If you don't love this kind of writing, this kind of genre, if you are not in love with it, there's no way for you to write in this genre and let alone to be successful. I just don't see it any other way. For me, I write this in this genre, and I think I am successful at it too, because I am in love with it, and it comes natural for me to want to write, and the inspiration flows naturally. The ideas keep coming. I don't procrastinate. Well, okay, I have my weaknesses as well. I am human as well, and I have moments when I procrastinate, but it doesn't take me ages to return to my writing table. I know it's just something momentary, and the reason is because I love this genre so much. And because I love it, then this gives a small space for procrastination to step in. It's like just something tiny because I love it so much. Whereas if I didn't love it, then I would make room for all kinds of doubts, for all kinds of limiting beliefs and procrastination and all that. So you have to love it. If you love it, you are on the right track. If you don't bother write in this genre. Just play with ideas until you. And I actually heard J.K. Rowling saying this. She did an interview, with Oprah in Edinburgh some years ago, and she said just that she started writing when she was 6, and before the major Harry Potter idea hit her, she just played with ideas, but she said that she didn't find any special resonance with what she was writing. Just short stories and ideas, just like everybody at the beginning is doing this. But then it hit her. The Harry Potter idea came to her, and we all know what the huge phenomenon.
The rest is history.
Yes,
now, just before you go, that's something I really wanted to ask you from.
Yeah, please go on.
From the beginning. Now, do you write strictly in English, or do you write in Romanian, and actually you always have an English version for your books?
No, I write in Romanian. I write my novels in Romanian. Then I translate them in English.
With that, I'm just going to say it's been more than a pleasure.
Oh, thank you so much.
To have a prolific writer, Cristina Istrati. And
thank you so much, Ardain, for having me. It's been such a pleasure to be here with you, to be your guest, to speak about writing, which is my absolutely favorite topic to speak about and dive into. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. Hopefully what I share with you and with the viewers of this interview will be of help to them.